morning, esporters, and welcome to yet another episode of Good Morning Esports. It's just, I'm looking outside the window right now behind my blackout curtains, and it's just such a bright and beautiful day. Oh, thank goodness. For everyone who's joining us from Captain Flowers' raid, welcome. If you've never seen the show before, Good Morning Esports is all about bringing together some of your favorite or completely unknown esports players and personalities and bullying them with some of the crazy games and segments that we have arranged. We also like to get to know some of our players, some of the people, and find out what they're like when they're not in front of a computer streaming. A little bit of fun, a little bit of magic. So why don't we go ahead and meet our first guest? He's actually better known as Shiro's pet human. We have Brian Kibler with us for the first cup.
Hello, I'm here with Shiro.
Oh my gosh, and he's right on. Okay, so when we were doing rehearsal, I couldn't keep it in. I tried to keep everything in, but I saw Shiro and I saw the shirt, so now you have to tell everyone the story behind it.
Well, this is Shiro. He's the cutest dog in the world, and this is one of the various pieces of Shiro merchandise that exists, just to celebrate His Majesty's glory, so
freaking cute. Okay, so you have the shirt. You said one of the many pieces of merchandise. This is totally me trying to help you get that bag. What else do you have that's Shiro themed? Because I want to buy it.
I have there's other Shiro shirts. There's like a cosmic Shiro shirt, and it's like literally Shiro with like glowing eyes. He's like looks like some sort of divine being because, well, he is. And you can also get that in blankets and stuff. Though those are currently unavailable because the manufacturer sort of like moved over their production to make masks. So I may look into making Shiro masks. If you just want to keep yourself and everyone around you safe while looking as adorable as this.
Would it be his face on the mask, or would it be a cartoon?
Probably. Either Shiro's face or a cartoon Shiro face. But
oh my gosh. Okay. Last Shiro question, and then I guess we could start talking a little bit about you.
He's like, last Shiro question. I'm out. He's like getting ready to get down.
Yeah, he's like, all right, bye. No, okay. So again, for everyone joining us, when we were doing rehearsal, you were telling me that right now it's Shiro's couch time.
True. Yeah. So generally, I finish my stream usually around 6 o'clock Pacific time, or whatever. So a little bit prior to this, and make dinner, and then sit up on the couch, eat my dinner, and watch TV with Shiro. And he just sits there and is I pet him and everything, and he was just barking his head off upstairs because he's like, "Where are you? No. What are you doing still in your office? It's couch time. The sun's going down. That's how this works. Those are the rules." So I'm disobeying my my liege lord over here, and he was not having it.
Oh, is he pissed or is he sad?
Well, he's kind of just hanging out around here. I think he's just actually sniffing around to see if there's any food down here because I haven't actually made dinner yet. So he's I think he's more just confused because he is a creature of habit. He likes things to go like clockwork. He wakes me up at between 5:30 and 6 a.m. almost every actual morning, rather than 7 p.m. morning, whatever it is here. He's you were talking about how esports players, they all sleep in late. It's well, I can't because this guy's in charge.
I had the same exact thing when I was fostering this big old Akita mix, and he would wake me up at 5 in the morning every single day, and I'm like, okay, listen, Thresh, my other dog, sleeps in until noon. We have got to get you on that schedule. But okay, so right now, all that everyone knows about you, if this is their first time seeing you, is about Shiro. So let's go ahead, dive in a little bit to you. I know you, I think the first time we met was from TFT, but I know that you also do a lot of Hearthstone casting and playing. I know that you also do a lot of Magic casting. I remember tuning in to see you on one of the tournaments on the analyst desk.
I've been sort of involved in the esports and gaming world since, before anyone called it esports, when it was just paper card games, I played Magic the Gathering competitively for years. I'm actually in the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour Hall of Fame. I worked as a game designer for a while. You may have played some of the games that I worked on. The original World of Warcraft trading card game, I was the head developer of that. I was one of the designers on the Ascension deck building game, which actually just celebrated its 10-year anniversary this summer. I think actually it might even be today is 10 years since we sold the first copy of it.
Oh my gosh!
And
Congratulations!
Thank you. But nowadays, I mostly do Hearthstone streaming, YouTube, and do commentary for both Magic and Hearthstone events.
Yeah, I know that there's been. How's the quarantine been for you? Because I mean, I tuned into your stream. I see you playing a lot of Hearthstone with the Battlegrounds. That's what they call their TFT style. Yeah. Saw a little bit of that. I also see that you're doing like exercise streams with little Shiro in the corner.
Well, so that was actually kind of almost like an accident. I decided that I want to get like home gym stuff for a while, and had ordered stuff that literally I got like a week or two before everything kind of shut down. And then it's like, well, all the gyms are closed, but I have this now. So I can actually just still work out like from my garage. I have like this really nice setup that I just happened to get right in time. And I was like, well, if I'm not able to go out on weekends, I might as well like do my Saturday morning workouts in addition to my other workouts. And well, if I'm doing it from home, I can just set up webcams, in this area, and, both just like try and kind of like help encourage other people to like build good habits and take care of themselves. So
it's free content at the same time. Plus, you just get to show off the muscles. Just be like, this is my adorable dog, Shiro. These are the weapons right here.
He's actually a personal trainer. He goes by Shiro LaBeouf. So.
Oh! This is the cutest thing. Okay, I just need to say, like, I know right now we're still in quarantine, a lot of social distancing and everything, but I really want to be invited to Shiro's next birthday party.
Well, he just turned 14, like last month. So he looks like an eternal puppy, and he largely acts like an eternal puppy, except when he kind of seems like a grouchy old man. It's kind of a balance back and forth with that. With is he getting what he wants? Then he's like happy and jumping around. Is he not getting what he wants? He is a growling, borking little monster sometimes. So.
All right, now you said eternal puppy, which reminded me that we actually do have a second guest joining us today. So I think that we should probably start to introduce him. He actually submitted his own introduction, which I can read aloud. Hi, I'm Beth Skarner in NA. I sign contracts with my IGN. I don't know what vermilion is a color. I eat ants. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Flowers in the second cup. Hi, buddy.
Okay, for one, I did not submit that. The Twitch chat was spamming that about me because of some unfortunate stories. And now, man, I got to follow up Kibler being the most impressive first act brought onto the stage. He comes out here, he's got the most adorable dog. He's in the Hall of Fame. Yo, I don't have a dog, but hey, I'm Captain Flowers, and this is my potted plant. It's not real because I don't think I could keep one alive, but Riot told me that I need this one because my room looks too much like a gamer room and it needs actual home amenities in it since we're streaming to LCS from home now. So Riot personally sent me this plant. I named him Frederick. Frederick sits back there on the nightstand to make my room look more complete. I've never been in the Pro Tour Hall of Fame for anything in my life, but I was the best Skarner in North America in Season 6 when 2 other people played Skarner. I was better than them. Hello.
There's a lot to unpack here. Did you say that the plant is plastic? It's not real?
Correct.
Thank God, so you can't kill it.
Mm-hmm. Frederick's eternal boy.
Thank God for Frederick Eternal Boy. I mean, Flowers, originally the intro that I had for you was like something pretty easy where it's like, oh, cool, he's a casting, he's the rap god and everything. And he was also voted prom king in high school, but he just doesn't remember it. It's Captain Flowers, everyone. And then we were going to get like the prom music going.
Why do we have to, I specifically, no. I don't want to do prom.
We're going to do prom somehow. Kibler, do you remember your prom, your high school prom?
I do.
How was it? Was it good memories? Was it fun?
It was really cool.
No, this is...
I mean, it was an eternity ago, because, like, I graduated in 1999, but...
Don't try to convince Kibler to get on your side with this prom thing. I'm not... On my side. I am not getting on board for esports prom. Man, I'm going to be 30 by the time you propose this. I am not going to prom as a 30-year-old. We're not doing that.
So, Kibler, I asked Flowers if he would go to prom with me, and he said no really fast. Like, he didn't even think about it. He said no so fast that I felt terrible.
That's pretty brutal.
I can't leave Frederick alone. He's got to be watered.
Do you pet Frederick?
I'm a responsible adult in this channel.
I'm gonna get you somehow. For people in chat who may not be familiar, Kibler, you probably don't even know. Flowers had a concussion.
I did hear that.
Oh, you did hear that? Oh, great.
There was much discussion about you proposing, to throw Flowers a prom in his stream. Like it was basically like a major subject of conversation for like half of an entire game he was casting. There was no discussion of what was actually happening in the game. It was about like various other weeb nonsense. So
yeah, pretty much.
That's literally all I do. It's weeb nonsense and some sort of shenanigans with Flowers. Yeah. But Flowers, let's talk about some of your personal shenanigans right now, because
oh boy,
ever since quarantine started, this is wholesome. Ever since quarantine started,
I'm not gonna get flame for this one.
I'm trying to build you up, man. I'm not trying to flame you when there's going to be time for flame. I'm just going to say minus 300 points to Flowers right now, and then
so you don't have the best track record. I'm a little paranoid right now.
I'm gonna slap you. Now let me freaking build you up. Since quarantine started, you have been doing streams or something. You've been casting over viewer games. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So since quarantine started up, I don't have any real human contact because, everything's it's kind of like Fallout, but instead of cool mutants and like guns and shit, we just have everybody having to stay home. So I had to figure out some way to make this more entertaining. So I started streaming, and apparently now
I couldn't believe this next part. I could not believe my eyes.
People actually wanted to watch a dude play Skarner. I couldn't believe it. All I do is break my pinky mashing Q over and over again and pull people trying to make montages for YouTube. But then they get really mad that you ruin their montage, and we have a good time just sort of talking trash and playing some games with friends. So yeah, we've been building up the stream here. My dad yelled at me for a while because I didn't get a sub button because I was too lazy to do the paperwork. So we got the sub button 3 months ago. So
I yelled at you for that.
Yeah, everybody did. But I think people expect you to yell at me for stuff by now because they've seen the videos with like the spooky games and stuff. So I had to bring in a new character in my dad that they didn't know was going to be yelling at me. We're developing the plot line. So I'm finally a real streamer now. We got a sub button. Everything's a rocking and a rolling. And now I'm here on this show that I purposely didn't watch the other episodes so that I would know absolutely nothing coming into this show. I do better when I go in blind. If my brain is armed, it's not dangerous.
Great, buddy. Thank you. Such a supportive friend. Kibler, I'm super glad that you're here, and I'm super glad that all of this is on camera, because now you can bear witness to just some of the stuff that happens in any of these conversations that no one would ever believe me if a camera wasn't rolling at the time. Don't do
Cover
this.
Your ears, Frederick. We are being blasphemed. Oh no, my water bottle. It's cool. It was empty. I forgot. I drank it all.
Yeah, okay. Well, you were also doing a lot of viewer games and stuff. You were casting over viewer games. You just talked about how you were playing Skarner on stream, but you've now built up like a crazy fan base of people who just want to play games and have them casted by you. And Kibler, I want to ask what your experience is like with that, because I see you playing in those games.
I have, yeah. I've played. How many have I played in now? I think it's...
You've been in 4 or 5?
I think it's 4.
Yeah, you've been in at least 4.
I think I'm 2-2 so far in the game I played. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one you guys lost really hard. The second one
real bad.
The first one was really unfortunate. I specifically remember thinking, "Wow, I hope Brian doesn't think that I screwed him over on purpose with matchmaking and doesn't come back now, because this was the worst game we've ever had."
It was really brutal. Well, it was also like I don't play that much League. And I don't play that many champions. And the time, like, I basically, had been playing, like, Zac. I jungle, and I play, like, Zac and Gragas were the 2 characters that, champs that I played the most. And the other team just banned Zac and Gragas. I'm like, well, I've played Olaf, like, twice, so I guess I'll play Olaf. And I just got destroyed. Like, absolutely destroyed. Like, embarrassingly destroyed. And, but then the next game I had to play Zac, and I went off.
Yeah, you came back. Yeah. You popped off. Games... Game 2 you won, and then there was another. I think like game 3 was a total stomp in your favor, because I know you also stomped one of them. And then game 4 I think was another closer loss. So yeah, Kibler's 2-2 in his best of 5 series now. We gotta get him in for another one.
Promos,
Yeah. We gotta see if you actually graduate.
Bad. Now, are there I'm wondering, can we assemble like a team of Hearthstone players with him on it, and then assemble like a team of having?
How is Hearthstone a
players
team game?
They have like Hearthstone players and League players.
No, playing League.
Okay.
So it's like, you know how people have been doing the battle of the League pros and the Valorant pros, and they face each other in their games or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see either like the TFT squad against like League squad or something, and I want to see Kibler at the helm, and then that's something that I want to see.
Well, Kibler, I hope you're ready, because back in the day when Hearthstone first came out, I got 12 wins in Arena once, so I ain't messing around.
Oh man,
yeah, I almost was able to build half of the Control Warrior deck with all my dust.
you must have played a lot if you could build half of the controller. Because that was known as Wallet Warrior back then. Had every legendary, like half the deck was legendary.
Talking of Wallet Warriors, my favorite thing that Kibler did in a game of League that I played with him one time. This was literally just like off stream, Kibler and me and some other people playing League of Legends together.
Yeah.
And people from the enemy team recognized us, and a couple of them were like super big card game players. And as the game was going on, one of them was like, "Hey Kibler, what would you recommend as a good budget deck to hit Legend with?" And Kibler's response didn't even wait. Like, he had this practically pre-typed. He was just like, "I have more golden decks than budget decks. I have no idea." Just pretty much like, "I cannot be bothered with this incredible peasantry right now. I am too busy playing whichever cards I very well please."
He has the world at its feet. All right, gentlemen, we could continue this conversation for potentially hours and hours, but instead, I think I'm going to force you to play some of the fun games that we have assembled here today, starting with, of course, The Chosen One.
Okay.
Of course.
Do it.
All right, version of The Chosen One is a little bit different. Because I have two Chads of the industry with me here today, we're changing it up, and now our slides will either be Chad or bad. And we're asking you what your opinion is, and you get to make the ruling. Sound clear? Easy peasy?
How do we know if we won or not? Like, what if I say Chad and he says bad?
You guys can agree on things. We're all friends here. We don't need to be mortal enemies yet.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, let's play a game. I'm ready. Kibler, you ready?
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's go. Slide number 1. Chad or bad?
Ooh.
Brunch.
Man.
Kibler, we'll start with you.
I definitely vote Chad on brunch. Brunch is like my favorite meal of the week. You know, like weekend brunch. I mean, you even have like the mimosas right there. It's really. We actually were before everything got locked down. We were trying to take Flowers to his first mimosa brunch. He has never done this. So he really doesn't have an informed opinion at all about this. And then, yeah, the world shut down, and we're like, well, this has just been kind of put on hold for forever. So I'm very much looking forward to when, we can actually venture out and have brunch again.
Deeply devastated when the pandemic came around. I mean, one, because yes, we all have to stay home and people are getting sick, but also we couldn't get our mimosa brunch on. We still have to teach him about bottomless mimosas. So Flowers, you haven't exactly experienced it yet. So brunch, Chad or bad?
Okay, so as Kibler already said, I never had brunch in my life. But here's what I'm taking away from brunch. Like, this is the advertisement points that my people have been telling me, which is you can drink mimosas at like 11 a.m. But here's the thing about drinking mimosas at 11 a.m. Now I drink bottomless mimosas for a couple pitchers or 4 or 5, and now all of a sudden I'm drunk at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What's going to happen to the rest of my day? I'm going to like pass out at 5 p.m., get my sleep on, wake up at 11 o'clock at night. If I decide to queue up for League of Legends, it's going to be full degenerate hours. All the kids are going to be staying up past their bedtime, playing some games and ruining my time. So now all of a sudden mimosa breakfast has ruined, or mimosa brunch has ruined everything. I'm voting bad. X.
Wow.
Looking at Twitch chat right now, and I see a lot of people thinking that it is more Chad than bad. So Kibler, I'm just going to go ahead and give you 1,000 points here in front.
1,000? I have like negative 400.
Next slide. Taco Too Far says that was a bad take on Flowers' part. All right, Chad or bad? Nail polish. Kibler, sorry, I'll start with you.
Okay, well, so I am going to say I'm going with bad, and only because I'm colorblind. So it really doesn't do, like fancy, bright, like red nail polish or whatever. I'm guessing that's what it is, because that's the sort of like thing that, people tend to wear to be flashy or whatever. I can't see that, Just like, all it does is rub in the fact that, I have this severe disability in my.
And so are you completely, like dog colorblind, or do you get certain shades?
No, I can tell that Shiro is white because his name means white.
Yeah.
No, I just have difficulty distinguishing like shades of like green and red, and then like some like anything that has red in it is difficult for me to like determine that part of it, right? Like some browns and reds look alike to me and stuff like that. So.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, flowers.
I have troubles with shades of red as well.
Like vermilion?
Which is a color I learned today. I was not aware of this fact.
Is it a red color?
Apparently it is. I figured vermilion had something to do with boats or lightning Pokemon because that's the city it was in Pokemon. And neither of those things are accurate. And just in case anybody else didn't know that, now you know. And you didn't have to learn the hard way like I did.
This is an educational show here at Good Morning Esports. Today we'll learn about the color vermilion. Now, but did you say chat or bad for the nail polish that people need to know?
Okay, I'm going chat on this one specifically because of something Ovilee helped me with. This is actually the Captain Flowers builds up Ovilee section of the show. So throughout my life, I have always had a bad habit of picking at my fingernails. And in order to get me to stop doing that, Ovilee one day presented me with a gift. It was a bottle of what I can only be describing the smell of as swamp poison. And it was a kind of invisible nail polish that you put on your fingernails, and then if you pick at them or bite at them and cause the smell to be released, you feel like you're being poisoned in a swamp. And it's awful. It's actually probably capable of killing small animals, but it helps you not bite your fingernails as much. So because Ovilee helped me with that choice, that's about the chaddest way I can think of to say, stop eating this or I'm going to poison you. That's pretty Chad. And so I'm voting Chad.
See, I'm going to bring that up. If you didn't bring it up, I was going to be like, oh, but do you remember? So I'm glad that you went ahead and told the story.
I still have it in my desk at work, but because it's stuck at work and we haven't been able to go there for 4 months, it's stranded there.
Yeah, it is, chat. It is so bad. If you're ever looking to quit biting your nails, just buy one from Amazon or something, like anti-bite stuff. I chewed my nail after it just instinctively, and I thought I was going to die. It was so bad, my mouth was on fire. So let's go ahead and...
Get the brand straight from the swamp skiff. Make sure it's that authentic swamp flavor.
Swampy nail polish. Next slide. Chatterbad. Eating a chip covered in ants.
No, wait, this is specific. Hey, hold up now. This is way too specific. This is targeted. Okay, all right, at least let me defend myself first. Hold up. I'm going to say this is Chad because I want to eat at least one of every animal that I can, like to really know the epitome of the animal kingdom. And the other day, look, I was eating some chips. I got them out of the cabinet, and I came in here and I sat down. And my brain, like, I get distracted really easily, but I can also focus really hard. And I was reading a post-game thread on one of the LCS games. So I was like, oh boy, I'm focusing up. Let's see the feedback. Let's see some shit talking about some teams. Let's go, baby. And I'm just like, hand in bag, shovel, hand in bag, shovel. And I'm just eating mouthfuls and mouthfuls of chips. And then I felt a little itchy thing on my hand. And I was like, oh, why is my hand itchy? And I looked down, I see a little ant crawling, just like super teeny tiny brown ant. And I was like, oh, how'd the ant get there? So then my brain went into, we turned the Death Note music on, the do-do-do-do-dee-dee-do-dee-do-dee-dee. And I started thinking, where could he have come from? There's not normally ants in here. Where would the ant ever have been able to make his entrance? And I looked in the chip bag, and all of the chips were covered in these little brown ants. And they were spicy queso flavored chips. So I thought the ants were actually the brown queso powder that was on the chips. I mistook them for flavoring powder. And I probably ate like 200 of them before I realized what was going on. So then I threw the rest of the bag away. But I ate like 200 of the ants. So I say it's Chad.
Chad, why did you throw the bag away and not just keep eating the chips covered in ants?
Because I wanted a chip snack, not an ant snack. It was a matter of preference at the moment. So I went and got other chips. Plus, my mission was already done. I said I wanted to eat every animal at least once. I just ate that animal 200 times. That's 199 more times than necessary.
Kibler, do I need to ask you, Chat or bad?
I would say bad. when I was a kid, actually, there was a time when my family went on vacation for like 2 weeks. It was like during the summer or whatever, and we came back, and I like went and poured myself a bowl of cereal. It was specifically what was it? It was like the I'm blanking on it now, like the Honey Nut Cheerios. It was Honey Nut Cheerios.
Those are good.
Poured myself a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios, and it just like comes out and it's just ants. Like there was like the Cheerios, there's ants everywhere inside them because it's just been a bag that was just in the cupboard for 2 weeks or whatever, which is I guess where Captain Flowers keeps his chips. And yeah, at that point I was just so horrified, and I like couldn't eat Honey Nut Cheerios because I had this like block surrounding that experience for years. So I'm gonna go with bad.
I'm gonna go right there with you,
Wait,
Kibler. I'm gonna say that is bad as well.
This
Flowers
is rigged. What? This is.
Do we want to take a vote in the chat? Like, who
Like,
was
okay,
chat, is that
chat
awesome?
right now. Just spam chat or bad. What do you think? Do
You
think
guys
it's Chad?
know
Do you
there's
think
Chad
it's
to
bad?
eat them. You must conquer the ants and hear the lamentations of the worker ants. It's Conan said it.
I'm really nervous that I'm only seeing like a couple of bads.
Because they all recognize that this is how you conquer.
Fine. Flowers, you get 300 points, okay? You get 300
Oh boy, I'm
points.
almost back up to 0.
But listen, Kibler, you and we both get 400 because we had to listen to that story.
That seems totally fair. That seems fair.
Next slide.
And this game.
All right, Chad or bad? Those weird bird scooters. Kibler, let's start with you.
So these are like everywhere around. I live in Santa Monica, and these are like all
Everywhere.
over the place, everywhere. And so actually, there was like for when everything kind of shut down, I didn't really see them anywhere because people weren't really out and they weren't really like using communal methods of transportation or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like I think it was over Memorial Day weekend, I came out and there was literally one that just been like dumped in front of my place. I'm like, now I know that people aren't taking this whole pandemic situation as seriously anymore because they're just birding to like my doorstep. But yeah, they're like kind of terrifying. I had a friend who like did like a double flip off one when he crashed, at like 2 a.m. the night before he was supposed to go to a music festival a couple years ago, and dislocated both his shoulders and couldn't go. And yeah, that doesn't seem worth just like kind of like scooting around a little bit faster. So I'm gonna go with bad.
I mean, like, that's very fair. I've heard of a lot of people. I have a story right after we get Flowers' take. Flowers, chat or bad?
Okay, so for the first time, me and Kibler's going to agree. Because on one hand, they are chat in a way because you can have fun with them and skate around with your friends and go to Venice Beach and play Count the Junkies, and if they get mad at you, they can't catch you. But on the other hand, people use these things like the littering Olympics. Walking through the crosswalk, bird in the road. Walking down the sidewalk, bird in the road. Walking through the parking lot, somebody wrecked a bird into the side of the building. Walking down the sidewalk, oh, look up in that tree.
A dude threw a bird scooter in the tree. It's not an actual bird, sir. It don't belong in there.
The birds are everywhere. I swear people just yeet these things out into the ether to see where they will land.
Well, when I first started seeing them around, or whatever. I had friends who like basically did tests like, okay, so what happens if you just like pick it up and like walk around with it? If you don't like pay for if you like take it and just throw it in the ocean, and they have like they have an alarm that goes off if you like take them and move them when they're like not unlocked for use. Like they will just start like having this like horrifying alarm. It's like whatever it is. So yeah. Don't throw them in the ocean, or they will.
Don't throw them.
Create
Today I not only learned what vermilion is. I learned not to go yeet a bird scooter into the ocean. I am learning today.
I'm very glad that we could have a few educational points coming out of this show, because I feel like there's always this that word of losing brain cells and. Shh, this is my show. I can mispronounce words if I so choose. I can also say next slide.
All right. Wait, who got points? Holly, who got points?
You just asked about points, so you just lost 200 points. Tiny dogs, chat or bad?
He showed up.
Oh, the dog is back. Yes. Shiro Cam.
He's back. Shiro, honey darling.
I know
Chad or
Kibler's been
bad?
going first, but I'm just gonna say this shit right now. If you vote bad on this, you can go into ocean with the bird scooter. If you can look at that dog and say bad, you can go play with the It's like the 2020 sequel to The Little Mermaid called the Little Bird Scooter. You just scoot around on one of them under the sea and have a good time because you gotta be loving the dog, man. Have some respect. Shiro's like an elder dragon dog. Kibler just said he turned 14. That's like what is that in dragon years? How many dragon years is in a dog year?
By 55.
By 55?
By 55. It's 7 for dogs, 55 for dragons. We did the math.
It's 55 for dragons? Okay,
It's
so...
the other way around, actually, because dragons, like, live, they're, like, basically eternal beings. Dog years are longer than human years. You have more dog years, so, like, because dogs don't live as long as people, it's like one dragon year would be like 100 years, right? Or rather,
Okay.
100 years would be like one dragon.
Okay, so if a dragon gets 100 years per human year and a dog gets 7, so a dragon would be 1,400 years. A dog would be 7 times 14 is 98. 1,400 divided by 98 ends up being about 14. So it's the same thing. Wait, no,
I couldn't do single-digit math.
This is why you don't do math live on stream, like live on air. It's like
no, wait, no, I can do this. Okay, so it's 1,400
All right,
in
Flowers,
dragon
Flowers,
years.
you
you're going the wrong way.
You do that. I just want to hear from Shiro. I want to hear from Shiro. Shiro, are tiny dogs
Shiro, what do you think?
Chad or bad? What do you think? What do you think, honey? What's that? What? Wait, what's that? What's that?
I think he's offended by the suggestion that he's anything but the cutest being in the world, and thus exceptionally Chad.
Hell yeah, Shiro! You look like such a Chad little boy. Such a Chad. You lift weights?
Oh, Shiro LaBeouf, you know?
Shiro LaBeouf.
Hell yeah.
Chat. Okay, Flowers, did you get your math, or could we move on to the next slide here?
Man, I don't care about math. We're not going to do
Math?
this anymore.
You don't
we're
care about
going.
math?
We're going to the next slide because it literally just comes out. The equation is actually completely pointless. Like I realize that I'm literally doing 2 + 2 - 2 right now. So the whole equation is dumb. I set myself up to fail from the start. This is as bad as Vermilion. Go next, fast.
Okay, cool. So we'll take Flowers' formula. Your points for this round are 2 + 2 - 2. Congratulations. Next slide.
I got 2 points, man.
Yup. Chad or bad? Professional ballroom dancing lessons. Now, Flowers, I'm gonna tell you just in case. I'm gonna assume that you don't know what a ballroom dancing is. This is for like the waltzing, like the tango, salsa, like fancy pantsy stuff. This isn't like coming in and line dancing. I don't know why I chose line dancing. I have a feeling he's gonna yell at me now. Do you want to go to prom with me?
No.
Flowers, professional ballroom dancing, Chad or bad?
Yo, I'm gonna say this is Chad. You know how much coordination it takes to pull off some of these dances, bro? Also, some of those moves, you gotta be able to flawlessly, like, you jump through the air, the girl has to do, like, a spinning pirouette in the air or something, and then you catch her and move her over like this. Like, some of that ballerina stuff is seriously physically demanding. If you don't think this is Chad, you're just insecure about your own masculinity, bro. It's time for you to go get yourself a pink shirt, because I guarantee you don't own none because you're afraid of that. We gotta support this. This is some physically impressive stuff right here. Ballroom dancing, hell yeah. Also, that opening scene in like the first chapter of Final Fantasy VIII, one of my favorite moments in the Final Fantasy series, which I love. And the ballroom dancing scene is really fantastic, if unrealistic. I rest my case.
I'm much in agreement with that, but let's see what Kibler has to say.
I would say that being very skilled at anything that's like very difficult, and especially anything that's physically demanding, like dance, is definitely Chad.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay, so all three of us, brunch, bottomless mimosas, we're going waltzing after.
Is brunch, bottomless
Shiro's
mimosas,
coming.
and ballroom dancing
Shiro's
the new version
coming.
of Bears, Beats, and
Dogs
Battlestar
brunch
Galactica?
are a thing.
Exactly.
We got
How does the rhyming go? How does that rhyming go? Brunch, bottomless, ballroom dancing.
Yeah, there you go.
Love
It's
it.
the new Beats, Bears, Battlestar.
Perfect.
Free
Next
will.
slide. All right, Chad or bad? Oiling yourself up to play beach volleyball.
What? Do people do this? Is this a real thing?
That just sounds irresponsible. You'll just get covered in sand. He'll just stick to you and be nasty. It's
here.
Or are you so good that you don't even touch the sand because you don't need to go for the dives? You're just always in the right place at the right time.
I mean, I am not, so it would be really bad for me.
All right, so Kibler, chat or bad then? Answer the question.
Well, I would say bad. Not only, do you run the risk of just getting like a ton of sand all over your skin, but you're also probably exposing yourself to more dangerous UV radiation, because you're just all oiled up, and that intensifies that. So it doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
Yeah, like you get baked or cooked
Exactly.
outside by the sun. Flowers, chat or bad?
Okay, so there's like a million jokes I could make about this, but none of them are safe for work or on the front page, so I'm just not
Oh,
gonna make
God!
Instead, what I'm gonna say is, I'm playing volleyball, bro. I don't want to feel like I'm on a slip and slide. So this doesn't seem conducive to me actually playing the game well. I'm here to like score some points, and I'm not going to be scoring any points if I'm out there in the wacky slip and slide lube world, falling over on myself because I'm tripping on stuff because it's all squeaky. So I'm going to go for no. I'm going to go with bad. Big vote, thumbs down.
Bad across the board because, like, I don't know about you, but listen, we're in that nerd squad. I come out, I am in full hoodie and sweatpants when I hit the beach. There is zero skin showing, so I can't oil up on top of the sweatshirt. It doesn't work like that. Next slide.
Yeah, if you try to put oil on a sweatshirt, I don't think that's...
It don't work. All right, chat or bad? Flowers, sleeping with the body pillow.
Funny enough, so I'm just going to retell the same story that I told Twitch chat at the end of my stream. When I first met Ovilee, I was like, oh yeah, she really seems to like anime, and she plays up the super weeb thing because it's an interesting brand and it's entertaining. And then the first time I ever played scary games with Ovilee, when it got to the point in Amnesia, 5 minutes into the game when the first door flies open on its own, she was scared to death of it, left the room, and came back in 2 minutes with 2 different full-size JoJo body pillows. And that was the scariest thing during all of Amnesia to me, was realizing that was real. I was like, this is not an act. None of this is exaggerated or flanderized for dramatic effect. This is literally what she does. And at that moment, I realized that body pillows were real. And so I'm just going to let that story be my answer, because I don't want to lose any more points. So
I got like a sponsor inquiry about, from a company that was asking if I wanted to promote their anime body pillows, and I'm like, I think you have the wrong guy. I'm not sure this is really applicable to me and my audience necessarily. If it's a gigantic Shiro body pillow, that's another thing, right? You just have this big fluffy dog pillow.
But an actual anime character body pillow, it's this isn't
this is anime Shiro right here on my shirt. So if you just turn that into a body pillow, he's upset about the idea though.
He doesn't like being objectivized this way.
Oh, now hear me out. Here's some extra merch for you. On one side, it could be Shiro, little puppy Shiro, maybe a couple different versions of him playing with the ball, doing different little things. And then on the other side, could be you. Boom, merch opportunity. I think this is the way to go. This is the next big thing.
I'll only sell those in my gym streams, right?
Right way to go. All right. You know what? You guys, it's very much Chad. It is very much Chad to sleep with the body pillow.
Oh,
it definitely helps with the loneliness when even sometimes my dog doesn't want to sleep in bed with mama. So we got 2 body pillows to take care of that. Next slide. Chad or bad? Turning up to a movie premiere in full costume. We're talking all out, not just a sweatshirt with a hoodie. And being
Chad, what are you talking about? How is this one even a question, bro?
Yeah?
These people are out there, they love this thing, and they are totally into it. Living your chaddest life is saying you don't give a damn what anybody else thinks about it. You're here having a good time, and if they don't like it, they can take it up with you, because you know they won't. You know they actually ain't going to do it. Go in there, man. Be dressed as Darth Vader. Whip out the lightsaber and just fucking mess them all up. I love it, dude. Get the whole Stormtrooper Union in there. I would love to do that. That's definitely what I would. If they ever make a movie about Skarner, you best believe I am painting myself purple. I am wearing purple oven mitts. I'm going to have a big old cardboard tube thing taped to my back like a stinger. I'm going to show up in full gear, man. Full gear. Lifesaver. I said lightsaber. The mic messed up. Not a lifesaver. Those are the snacks that you can also buy in the theater. Yeah, no, this is totally Chad. This is totally Chad. Showing up to a thing in full costume. Like, yeah, totally Chad, 100%.
I believe you. Kibler, same sentiment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with that. Like, you know, I LARP, right? Like, I come out exactly in someone who's gonna be like criticizing people for having passions that occasionally make them look ridiculous in public. But you know, people have whatever sort of opinions they're gonna have about that, and I think it's cool.
No, dude, for sure. Like, our job is literally video games.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about just doing the stuff that you love to do, and who cares if Johnny McBasic Boy says, "Oh, bro, it's not cool enough, bro." Forget you, Johnny. PG appropriate. You know? I'm going to go to this movie in my costume.
All right. I need to cut you off. We need to hit the next slide. Boom. This is the last slide. Chad or Bad, sitting down to pee. Now, I could start this off. Both me and then my other college roommate, who was a guy, I loved him. I loved him because he sat down when he peed. So it was great because he would never put the toilet seat up. So I think that this is incredibly Chad, but I think I need to hear your opinions because the facial expressions that I got from you when the slide went up were very different. Well, where you want to start?
This is context, right? Like when you're like, okay, you are roommates with a girl, and you're like, okay, well, you know, this could potentially lead to some uncomfortable situation of leaving the toilet seat up. Sure, you know, whatever.
He was great.
But
is that weird?
I mean, I will occasionally sit down when I use the restroom and I just have to pee, just because, like, you know, it is more comfortable, right? You just like, especially if you go to like a public restroom. So I guess not really a public restroom necessarily. That can be kind of gross. You'd rather like stand up and just use your urinal or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, if you're just like, you know, like taking a quick break, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna check my phone. It's a lot easier to do when you're just sitting down.
I like that. See, I like that. Flowers.
Okay. What? Y'all ain't never aimed before in your life? You're having a problem hitting the target 2 feet away? If you guys literally can't use your own bathrooms at home without making a mess all over the toilet, the aim's supposed to be more like a rifle, not a shotgun. It don't go all over the place or you're doing it wrong. If you manage to actually be a civilized human being instead of whoever uses a bathroom at a public McDonald's, I don't even know how those people do it. That's like a lifetime achievement. They belong in the Guinness Book of World Records for being able to make that much of a mess with just themselves. Like, as long as you're a normal human being, there's really no issue with standing up. It doesn't make a mess.
Well, it's not just that you know, you can't. It's that you don't want to, right? That you're just like, you just go to the bathroom. You're like, I'm gonna you know, sit down for, you know, a minute or whatever and just relax.
I mean, maybe you want to play phone games or something, you sit down. But for me, when I'm like, okay, I got to get up and use the restroom, I'm getting done. Go in, use the restroom, go back out. And you know what? Ever since I've been like, I don't know, 2 years old or however old kids are when you potty train them, I literally don't know ages. Everything under 10 is the same thing. I've never missed. So I don't see how this is a problem that people are struggling with.
Hi, I'm Beth Skarner in NA. I sign contracts with my IGN. I don't know what vermilion is a color. I eat ants, and I have a potted plant. I'm also prom king, and I spill water, and I think brunch is bad, and I don't care about math, and I want to cosplay Skarner, and I refuse to pee sitting down because I don't miss.
Y'all need to work on your aim.
It's a pretty easy skill shot to hit. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's a pretty easy skill shot to aim, brothers. I'm drinking gallons of tea every stream, and it's not a problem.
I am cutting you off. This was Chatterbad. We need to move on to the next game. We took way too long with that. Granted, both of you have absolutely wonderful opinions. So let's go ahead, move on to the next game, Drawvilee.
Okay.
All right, now in this very special version of Drawvilee, we're just changing everything up for both of you guys because we love you so much. This one's going to be a little different. All you have to do is draw little old moi But this time we're changing it up in just a little bit in the sense of
you
need... What?
I have to draw you?
Yeah, can you not cut me off as I'm explaining things? I was getting into the zone.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Captain Flowers. I play Skarner, and I like to interrupt people. All right, you're going to have a set time. You need to draw me. I'm going to pose, put some props on, but you have to draw me as a trading card. So think like a Hearthstone card or a lore card or whatever. Give me a special skill. Let me get my props.
Okay.
We're going to start with...
those.
Right? Aren't they cute? Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to have 2 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes.
That's a minute and a half more than I need.
All right, and commence. All right, chat, I'm a little bit too far away, so I can't exactly read you, but if you have any good copy pastas, now's the time to throw them in. Do they both have paper this time? Well, Flowers says that he doesn't own paper, so I think he's using a napkin. Luckily, Kibler, a functional adult, has paper and a pen. So.
Oh yeah, I don't have a pen or a Sharpie. This is a dry erase marker.
Flowers. I'm gonna take you to Office Max when the pandemic is over, and we're gonna supply your room, okay? All right, chat, and then as soon as time is up for them, we're going to see one of their drawings, and we're going to see their second drawing, and then we are going to leave it up to you, the chat, to decide who wins. Because right now, I don't think Flowers is doing very well on points. I think Kibler is very much ahead. So hopefully Flowers can go ahead and get some points back. How are we doing on time? Are we... I can't keep track of time. Also, my leg is beginning to cramp, and so is my arm, because unlike Kibler, I don't exercise, so even holding my arm above my head is excruciatingly painful. And now I'm a little worried about my health. And even just the action of half lunging onto a chair, I feel my back and my back leg starting to shake. Mom, send protein bars. Coffee says that he's drawing Skarner. Amy Catherine says, we believe in you, Flowers. Feel the burn. I am feeling the burn, buddy. I don't know if it's supposed to be in my lower back as well as... It's not even my butt, it's like my thigh. I'm tilting a little bit. All right, let's give him the 20-second count. I don't know how to count down from 20, so I'm just going to say 10 in a few seconds. Do more squat and get those gains. See, now that requires effort. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Are both of you done already? 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoa, okay, my back hurts. I'm coming. I'm coming. All right. I'm in pain. I'm in pain. Okay. You know what? I'm feeling pretty confident in you, Brian. Let's go ahead and see your picture.
That's a terrible, terrible choice, but...
No, really?
Well, I mean, this is my piece of artwork right here.
All right, let's see.
It is a trading card, you see. You have... You cost 6 to play. You have 10 attack because you're very aggro.
Yes.
And the random spell actually gives you 5 defense.
Oh,
so that's
ooh.
there you go.
What's my ability? Do I do anything special, or am I just a pleb?
I mean, 10 is a lot of attack. You're very, very aggro, especially toward Captain Flowers. So, like maybe you actually get an additional +5 attack when attacking Captain Flowers.
I like that. That's a really good trait to have. Kibler, I'm just going to give you 10,000 points right now.
Well, that's definitely nothing I'm anywhere close to. I'm pretty sure I'm at negative like 298 because I got +2 for the one round that I did well on.
No, you actually didn't. You got +2 -2. So you got that's math. That's not 2.
No, I was 2 + 2 - 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was the initial 2. See.
You're almost
Okay.
there. Flowers,
Yeah,
show me a
yeah.
drawing.
All right,
Show
check
me a
this
drawing.
out.
We're gonna
This
get-
is drawn with a dry erase marker on a Subway napkin. Subway
Oh my
sponsor me.
god!
Okay.
Paper towel you on the mat. God!
Hold on. Look at that. Okay, so this is Ovilee, a weeb type Pokemon. She has 420 HP, and she has one ability that costs 3 weeb energy to cast. It's called Int, and so Ovilee runs it down with the Fire and Fury. It does 69 damage to an opponent, and she has an affinity when played with other JoJo Pokemon. This is an ultra rare, hyper exclusive foil only that you can only get if you buy the booster packs in Japan. And you can only have one in your deck. It's competitively limited because it's overpowered. But it costs a lot of weeb energy to play. That's my card.
On the Subway napkin.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. I think it's clear where my thoughts lie. We have a poll going in chat right now, I think. So we're just gonna leave it up to Twitch chat to decide who wins here. Or we don't have a poll going and we're just gonna read what everyone's saying. Flowers, 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 100%. Flowers, flowers wins. Captain wins. It's flowers. 8 million points for flowers.
I told you, Ovilee. I turned you into a legendary Pokemon. This is even the alternate art with the Rammus hat. Collectors will pay top dime for this.
They will. I mean, you can't see it behind me, but I have just like a absolute stack of figures, JoJo figures, anime figures that I paid way too much money for. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with the chat. Flowers, you are the winner for Drawvilee, and I believe someone says that you get 420,000 points.
Yes!
I'm gonna go ahead and give you 42.
Wait,
Flowers!
where's the 0? It's not the meme number without a 0.
Well, we just moved the decimal point over a little bit because that's what you have to do when you multiply. I think.
This game is not fair. I gotta remember to be family friendly.
You know what else is not fair? The fact that we're moving right into the next game. This one we call Caster Battles.
Oh, baby.
Alright, Twitch chat, in case it wasn't clear, these two godly gentlemen that we have with us make their living by, streaming as well as casting over some incredibly high-tier gameplay. So today we're going to put their skills to the test. They're going to have to cast over a completely random video clip. And then you in the chat are going to decide if it's a yay or a nay. Gentlemen, I will be giving you a little bit of information going into it. Kibler, we can start with you. You guys are going to go one at a time, and then at the end, maybe I'll let you do some duo cast.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Do we get to be a duo cast?
Yeah, you get to do it at the end.
We both do different types of casting, though. He's the fast talker caster,
Yeah, and Kibler's smart. So you have to combine one smart guy and one guy who talks fast.
We are aware.
Like
We are aware. We
recipe.
picked out me and Tech Goblin Joey, who's in my closet right now handling production. Like, we went ahead and we selected clips that we thought would be best fitting. So Kibler, I thought it was great that you actually brought it up that you do LARPing, because I love watching like all of the random LARPing videos of people doing Star Wars, of people doing Renaissance stuff. So I think we found a pretty good clip for you to cast, and we're gonna go ahead and pull it up.
I'm excited.
Cast, Kibler, cast.
Well, here we have the person on the right seems to only have a single shield. It's very difficult to actually get your offense going when you only have a shield against someone with 2 weapons. It's very easy to get yourself out of the way of their blows, but really it's really important that you understand the ooh, he actually fell down. Wow, his shield bashed him. That is not a legal ability in most versions of this type of combat. And, ooh, seems to be going with some sort of range shield bash effect. This was not an ability that I was aware that either of these players had. So now we're going to see, going with the double thrust, double swing. Looks like Mace Guy, wow, he has taken him down. I think that might just be it. And now he is teabagging him. That is definitely not allowed.
That ending! What a hero!
Oh my god, that was... I seen that clip before, so that was great. And I think your casting was like right there.
That
I
was
really liked having the context.
Well played, Kibler. Well played.
We have Ogino in here saying that was an illegal move. I don't know. In the rules of LARPing, can you actually just smack someone with I'm hoping a plastic mace?
Well, it really depends on the actual like combat system. Some games effectively use like full contact, like you literally could like kick someone's shield and like smack them in the whatever. It's like people actually wear like armor, like real armor and stuff.
Chad LARP.
Yeah, a lot of them though are just like kind of like foam like soft weapons that you just like are trying to just tap them and hit them rather than actually damage them physically.
All right. On to the next clip. Flowers, the only hint that I will give you to this is hopefully you don't have a rough time.
What? Kibler got like 3 paragraphs of hints.
Let's pull the clip up.
What? Okay. All right. We're jumping anyway. All right. This is Jimmy McJimmerson, current world champion, trying to line himself up. He knows what's got to be done, but the problem is, you got to remember that back in the day, Jimmy was having a rough time. He's off to a great start. He's through the tube, and Jimmy's running like a bat out of hell. Good Lord, man. Just look at the way he's able to clear over those jumps. My man Jimmy, he has been training daily, nightly, and ever so rightly for this game. He's up the ramp. He's around the poles. He's making the moves. My man Jimmy, he has got it on lock, but you got to be careful, Jimmy. The back end of the court is so damn tricky these days. They are not engineering him like they used to. He's through the cape. He's through the poles again. Zigzag, 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 zigzag. Jimmy was born for this. This is a champion in the making. There is a reason. He already has 7 gold medals under his belt, and Jimmy is not stopping today. My man had his Purina puppy chow. My man had the other stuff that actually tastes good, because I forgot Purina is not a good company and we don't want to promote them. Forget Purina. All my homies hate Purina, but we all love Jimmy, and he's walking away with a gold medal at the end of this one.
I don't even know Jimmy, but I'm incredibly happy for him, and I am so proud that he won. You need to just cast Thresh doing his morning walk routines, because that dog is slow, but I have a feeling that you could make him feel much better about his slow little doggy butt. Okay.
We're all rooting for Jimmy out there. Do we get to cast together now?
Yes, you get to cast together. I'm trying to lead into that, but first I was going to say that both of you get 500 points, and Flowers, I was going to give you a little bit extra. But then you went ahead and interrupted me again, so minus 300 back to Flowers.
God bless America! I'm never going to get above 0!
So, yes, our 2 casters that we have here today, I think it's safe to say that Flowers is definitely a play-by-play caster. That's where you hear a lot of the rap godding. And Kibler, is it safe to say that you're more of a color caster?
That's true, yes.
Yeah, more of a color caster. He's adding the analysis. He's really breaking down some of these plays. So let's see how the 2 of them work together in our final clip.
Ooh.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pac-Man World Finals. I am Captain Flowers, joined by Brian Kibler. And Kibler, we are heading in to the World Championship match right now as the ghosts are out onto the map.
Yeah, this is the final map, you see. In order to increase the difficulty, we took it away from the typical map you have on your gameplay screen, and we actually brought it into real life. This adds an additional physical layer of challenge to the players who can't simply prepare as they normally would.
That strawberry just got absolutely slapped. The store itself is falling apart. Pac-Man is supposed to be a symbol of order, and I can't think of a synonym for order, but it doesn't matter because synonyms are not important right now. The only thing that matters is Pac-Man getting away, and he's not able to do it because the ghosts are still running after him. My man Pac-Man is scared like Ovilee playing a mildly frightening game. He's got to hide. He's got to run. He's got to bring out the body pillows and have some fun. GG.
Both of you. 1,000 points to both of you. Chat is pumped. Chat loved it. Both of you guys win that battle. I'm just happy to have been a part of it. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for doing that. I apologize for being a little bit fast, but I want to make sure that Shiro gets to have his proper couch time and gets fed. So I'm just going to move us right on to our last game, which is, of course, 200 IQ.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right, the game 200 IQ is quite simple. Both of you start off with 0 IQ. All right? 0. Nada. You don't know nothing. We're back
just
to
another day in the life.
So
I thought you were going to finish that with something like just another day in the life of a Yasuo player, of a Zoe main, of a...
Read the pasta in the chat. I can't even defend myself at this point. Today's been a day where I'm going to chalk it up as a learning experience, and now we're going to learn some more. So, yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's just jump straight into this. Every single question that you guys answer correctly, you're going to get 20 points. We have 10 questions, so hopefully you can make it all the way up to that 200 IQ. Now, it is the first person to answer correctly who gets those points, so go ahead and shout it out as soon as you know it. So let's see. Question number 1. In the U.S. Navy, which rank is higher than a captain? Is it A, a lieutenant, B, a commodore, or C, a commander?
C, commander.
Flowers, your answer?
Oh, I thought that he, my bad. Yeah, commander.
It's a commodore.
Oh.
B, commodore. And no IQ points for either of you. Let's see if maybe...
Damn, Kibler was 0 IQ, bro.
Question two. All right, which of these is not a possible meaning of Shiro in Japanese? Is it A, a castle, B, white, or C, pepper? That's right, Kibler.
C, pepper.
I'm gonna go with A.
It is actually C, pepper.
Oof.
I knew it!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Japanese words, Kibler, they're always gonna get you. They could have a bunch of different meanings.
Well, I was thinking like, because you have theoretically have like a white pep. I don't know.
Oh, okay, there's technicalities. We'll give it to this one.
I literally did it based on opposites. I know Shiro means white, and since pepper is usually a darker, like, spice or seasoning or whatever it is, I figured they wouldn't associate.
That's a good one. That's good, what is it called?
Breaking it down.
Yeah, breaking it down. Process of elimination. Question number 3. What was the first state to secede from the Union? Is it A, Florida, B, South Carolina, or C, Alabama?
South Carolina, I believe.
Yeah, I'll go with B.
It is South Carolina, but Flowers got it right, so he gets the points. IQ. Boo, you guys. Woohoo,
I got IQ points!
2 points!
Mom, look, I ain't dumb!
Dang, chat. Okay, so Flowers, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. I told our question maker, Tech Goblin Joey, I'm like, Flowers knows history stuff. I don't know any of it, but he knows some of it. So that was your history question. The rest are going to get.
I know history and I know ghosts. You got any question about ghosts?
Nope. Question number 4. Which of these is not a flower? Is it A, Gloriosa Superba, B, Titan Arum?
C.
You said. Who said B? Who said C?
I said C.
You said C.
C.
Okay, so since he already, so there's literally no point in me guessing C, even if I think it's correct, because Kibler would be before me.
Yep.
So in other words, I am going to go with B.
Nope, it's C.
I'm pretty sure it is C because equus normally relates to horses.
Yep, it's a Z. Yeah, it's the scientific name for zebra. How did you know?
Because equine is horses, so equus would be the Latin thing that's derived from. So it's horses.
This is science-y. Let's just go to question 5. They're looking smart on camera. I'm looking dumb. Which year was Magic the Gathering? What?
1993. Covered it. 1993.
I need to fact check because I'm not sure.
It is.
Oh, okay. So it's 1993?
Yeah.
Someone told me that it was 94. So that's the thing. I want to check with you because in our.
Well, I guess 1994. That's my guess.
1993.
Was I think our Tech Goblin Joey got it wrong then. The Gathering created. Yeah, it's 93. Joey!
Joey's about to get chewed out, bro.
I know.
No dinner! That's it!
Jesus.
You're lucky I didn't kick you out, Joey.
Joey's living like Harry Potter at the beginning of the movie.
Sorry about that, Kibler. Yes, it is 1993. Congratulations. Extra IQ points to you. Let's go ahead and move on. Are we going to have a problem with question number 6? No? Okay, cool. Question number 6. Let's go ahead and move on, shall we? Okay. What was the most expensive movie ever made? Is it A? Joey! Pull the questions up. Okay, cool. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. B, Avengers Endgame, or C, Avatar?
C, I think.
I guess I'll go with C. I mean, I think he's right. I think it actually is Endgame, but
it's actually A, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. I didn't
That
believe
movie
it either.
sucked.
Yeah, right?
what a terrible use of money.
Yes, that film was horrible. It was awful.
Wow.
I think, was this the one where they had all the crabs?
It was the
Maybe
one that's
crabs
not
were
related to the
expensive.
original trilogy. It's the
Wait.
one that's just kind of the random spin-off. Like, imagine if some random fan fiction got somehow greenlit as a movie.
Yeah, ugh.
Yeah,
that's,
that was it.
We don't stand that. We don't stand that. We do stand, however, question number 7. Let's go ahead and throw that up on there. Which of these does not star Chad Michael Murray? Is it A, The OC, B, One Tree Hill, or C, Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore Girls, because he's not a girl.
I literally have no idea who this person is. So.
Neither do I. But
Chad Michael Murray.
I
guess
have no idea.
I'll go with B since he said C.
It's A, The OC.
Ah!
Wasn't in the OC. I'm going to be completely honest. All of these shows were before my time, so I had never heard or watched them.
I just went with Chad is typically a dude's name. I'm guessing Gilmore Girls is about girls. So
I'm going to cut you off right here because there's someone in the chat named Prom King Skarner, and he knew that it was A.
damn it.
That person's my hero now. All right, question number 8. What is the name of Leela's pet in Futurama? Is it A, Kibler, B?
B. It's B.
Oh, I think Kibler got it first. I heard Kibler come through my headphones first with Nibbler,
Damn
which
it.
is correct.
We were so
Nibbler.
I know it's B.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
If you
slightly
guys-
faster, bro. He's got
yeah.
those mechanics.
Yeah, if you know the answer when I'm still reading the question, you can shout that out. That's how Kibler got the magic points. All right, question number 9. What is the first Pokemon in the Pokedex?
Bulbasaur.
Yup, it's Bulbasaur. Points, IQ points to Flowers. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we're reaching our final question, and this final question is a special one because this is a question to see how well you guys know me. So let's go ahead, pull up question number 10. What is Ovilee's favorite movie trilogy?
All right,
Is it A?
B.
The Twilight series. Is it B, Hunger Games?
C.
Or is it
C. You try to get me to watch this cursed crap all the time, and I still ain't never gonna do it, but that won't stop me from guessing it. It's C.
Do you have a guess?
I guess I'll guess B. So
Yes, B. I am not a fan of Jennifer Lawrence, so it would not be the Hunger Games movie trilogy. I love the books. However, Flowers is correct. It is 50 Shades of Grey. Now, Twitch chat, hear me out. I love everything in that movie except for the gross kissing parts. Like, that stuff makes me uncomfortable. However, the rest of the movie plays out like a dang weird anime action thing. All of a sudden, there's a girl. She's naked in a room, and a guy's playing a piano, and he's a billionaire. Next thing you know, they're racing in fancy cars through cabins and woods, and then all of a sudden, her boss pulls out a gun. What? Like, what? Like, that's an exciting movie trilogy right there. Kibler, yes, would you watch?
I'm not really interested now.
You Kibler for not buying into this BS. I was literally talking to Ovilee the other day on Discord, and I can't remember what the other movie we were talking. Oh, she was telling me something about how she linked me this video that was like a fake YouTube commercial for like a B movie if it was written like 50 Shades of Grey. And I responded to her. I was like, I feel like I need to see the original movie now to make sure that to see like how many jokes this is played off because I've never watched B movie before.
You were
And as soon as she says this, and as soon as I say this, I get 9 messages in a row. Just, are you serious? Okay, do you want to watch it right now? We can watch this anytime you want. Let's watch this movie. Are you really ready? I'll bring the popcorn. And I was like, wow, you really like B movie, don't you? And then her next response was, oh, you meant B movie. And I was like, well, I sure ain't watching 50 Shades of Grey.
So You were saying with the Pirates of the Caribbean movie that it was like, oh, this is like some like horrible fan fiction that somehow got turned into a movie. Isn't that literally what 50 Shades of Grey is?
Shut your face. Shut your face right now.
Twilight fan fiction that somehow just became like a popular book and then turned into a movie? Like, literally what we were just talking about.
And he's the smart caster, Ovilee. He's right.
Both of you. You know what? I have just about had it. That's it. 200 IQ is over. We're moving on to Survivor.
Oh, baby.
All right, the reason we're moving on to Survivor is because this is the final segment of the show where each one of us gets kicked, or I should say voted off by everyone in the Dear Twitch chat. But before we open up the floodgates of voting, I do want to say, gentlemen, it has been so freaking wonderful to have you together on this show. So thank you, both of you guys, so much for joining. Kibler, anything that you'd like to plug before, you could get voted off first, and then that's completely it. You're gone. That's it. It's not going to be me. So anything you'd like to...
Well, Ovilee's gone.
Wait, they all just literally started typing "by Ovilee." Every single person in the chat is just typing "by Ovilee." Did she die before she was even able to introduce the segment fully?
I think so. Yeah.
Brian, do you know what we're supposed to do from this point on?
I mean, I think we basically just kind of hang out and just like celebrate the fact that Ovilee's gone. And we can just like live in peace here now.
Well, thank you for not indulging that 50 Shades of Grey thing, because I literally have to tell her, no, I'm not watching that at least once a week. That's
saying bye to me now.
Oh, no, Kibler, don't leave me. No, we're actually staying. Me and Kibler are just chilling and having a good time. We didn't even know the rules. Ovilee got yeeted before she was able to even tell us the direction.
But I'm gone.
Okay, wait, no, are you still? Oh no, Brian Kibler's dead. All right, well, since I'm the last one standing, this is my final transmission.
Colonel, I'm behind enemy lines, but both of my allies have been eliminated. I'm trying to figure out how to escape this place, but I'm pretty sure it's been booby-trapped.
Careful, Snake. That's Ovilee's show. It's probably got a whole bunch of random weeb garbage that's going to prevent you from being able to escape. For all we know, Ovilee was a secret KGB agent the entire time.
Yeah, I'm trying to sneak out of this place, but they already got Ovilee and Kibler. Somebody must have been a secret agent and taken her out. And as for Kibler, I hope Shiro managed to get away. Well, Twitch chat, this is about all I've got, so...